Legends, welcome to the video, guys. How you doing? Hopefully it finds you doing well. If not, send us some love, some positive vibes your way today, especially if you need it out there, guys. Coming around the holiday season, as I mentioned in a previous video, some of us, it's the best time of the year. Other people, especially if you're dealing with loss or dealing with any type of friction or depression in your life, it can be a very troubling and trying time. So if you're one of those people, just send us some love your way. Just know that you will get through whatever you're going through right now, and I really mean that, guys. Today, we're going to do another one of these videos, right? Talking about the overall kind of zeitgeist of the community in Raid Shadow Legends. What are people upset about nowadays? I love making these videos, by the way, because I consider myself, in some regard, a community channel where I like to talk about what people are talking about, usually in about one video a week, in case you guys are new viewers. I love doing this. So I see every time in the feedback and the comments on these videos, I would say like 90% of you guys are like, I keep doing more of these videos. I like them when you talk about, again, what people are talking about. And then 10% of you guys are like, this is not even content. Well, I want to thank both of you, whether you like it or dislike it, for clicking on the video, right? For watching the video and spending a little bit of time talking Raid with me. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing these videos because it's what I enjoy, content I enjoy making, okay? So what are people upset about today? Well, a lot of things, right? Mainly, obviously, regarding the new artifact Ascension. But I want to start first with this, and this is going to be, let's give him an upvote here. So a shout out to Seb Meister 420, my man. He has ascend an artifact one time in advanced quests. It really stinks for new players. Basically, the title is why, and I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. So yeah, basically they're forcing you to farm the dungeon to get your advanced quests, and everybody wants to take place, or I should, complete their advanced quests, because that's one of the only ways to actually reliably farm, legendary skill tomes, epic skill tomes in the chicken as well. So obviously that really sucks that that's going to be in the rotation here, but it's really not a shocker. I mean, I'm not happy about this, especially again for newer players. This dungeon is end game content. So a lot of people, yours truly included, left kind of scratching your head. Why include this end game content, the most end game content in the game? Why include that as a quest, an advanced quest for everybody? Sure, it is an advanced quest, but still, I mean, unless you're going to give us a way to farm up those skill tomes, otherwise, it's a quest that everybody takes advantage of for the most part, the majority of players in the game. So what should they do about that one? I'm just going to keep it basic here. I don't think it's that heavy of a lift for Plarium to remove that, or at the very least, maybe change it to farm the dungeon 5 times, win or lose, or something like that. Even that, I don't think is a great idea now that I say it out loud. But that's number one, what people are upset about, right? But I think you could probably just remove that, No? Am I being too greedy and asking they just remove that from advanced quests? But that seems to be one of the things that people are really, really upset about right now in the game. The other one is, I got to give a massive, massive shout out here. Actually, before I do this, before I talk about the other thing, let me just show you what I'm doing in terms of my current strategy on Artifact Ascension, because that's what I want to talk about next here. I'm going into my speed boots, right? I'm filtering boots, speed, equipped, and then this is what I would do if I were you guys too, just get it out of the way, right? And then I am ascending one by one all of my speed boots just to see if I get a speed roll on my speed boots. And thus enters the issue here, right? That is RNG on top of RNG. I'll talk more about what that means, why that's a big issue for a lot of players, including Smiley, in just a moment here. But just to show you guys, I've actually gotten pretty lucky, I would say, right? I've gotten 2 speed rolls on speed boots that are in a speed set. So I'm starting with my speed set, speed boots, then I would probably go to my perception speed boots, and I'm seeing if I can get the speed rolls. So you can see Yumeko's boots and also Siffy's boots. I was able to get the speed on them. I might switch one of these boots to Arbiter to have a faster Arbiter inside the arena because I got HP percentage roll, which is not going to help me. And that's one of the issues, right? One of the issues is it's taking our best artifacts, which you worked years and years and years to farm, and making them not so good anymore. But that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm going through and I'm just picking. Actually, I got another one here. Man, I've gotten really lucky here on the speed boots. I've gotten 3 speeds on speed boots. But that's how I'm using all of my oil, just to see how lucky I can get or how unlucky I can get on my speed boots. That's leading to issues like this. I saw my man Chaos Beast today. He said, ever since Gear Ascension, I'm starting to get outsped, in the arena now. I did not get a single speed roll on any of my speed boots on my account. I was not going to worry about it and go crazy trying to farm up to more to ascend, but now I think I'm going to be forced to. I see a lot of comments about that as well. If you're not getting lucky on your speed rolls, on your speed boots, your arena team that you relied on to farm up your great haul, humble brag, is suddenly, actually this took me like 3 years to do, but it's suddenly not going to be, it's going to be moot. It's going to be, gear that you're not very happy with anymore, and you're going to start to get outsped in the arena, and it's going to suck. That is the bad side of Artifact Ascension, There is no really arguing that, right? I mean, that really sucks. And Smiley makes a whole video about that. Smiley TK is one of my favorite content creators out there. Really, really good dude, hence the name Smiley TK. He's usually smiling, having a good time, enjoying Raid Shadow Legends. But even he says this is the worst in Raid Shadow Legends history, basically the worst update in Raid Shadow Legends history, meaning particularly Artifact Ascension and what it is doing, adding RNG to RNG. We waste, or I should say, we enjoy years or hours or minutes of our lives farming up dungeon artifacts. That's what the majority of players in this game are doing all the time. They're farming up better and better and better artifacts, replacing their old gear with new gear, and there's a lot of RNG there, right? What artifact is going to drop from what dungeon, right? So that's one thing. And then once you get your artifact, you need to look for the substats that you need. And then when you level up those substats that you need, it is RNG where those rolls are going to go on the substats, okay? Now with the Ascension, it's adding a whole new layer, a whole new element of RNG on top of that. So it becomes a game of percentages, of odds. And the odds, or should I say the deck, is stacked tremendously against the player at this point, okay? That is glass half empty, but it's a real issue right now inside the game, right? And he talks about the ascension of the artifact as well in the advanced quests. It's an issue, guys. It really is. It sucks, and I feel for anybody out there who's going through what Smiley and what Chaos Beast is going through right now as well. As you saw, I was lucky enough to get a speed roll. I'm going to have to probably move those speed boots to Arbiter so it does not affect me in the arena. But think about it, right? I'm going to be affecting the player who I'm facing who didn't get the speed roll on the speed boots, right? So I'm going to be taking advantage just by luck, just by RNG of the ascension of artifacts. The glass half full, though, and I really want to try to cover both sides here, even though you guys are going to hate me, but I'm not trying to pander to you guys and just get you all fired up. I also want to talk about the PvE elements of this, and I want to see if you guys have an agreement or disagreement with me overall over here. Let's take a look at this chest, for example. A perception chest. I'm adding 4 resistance to it. Of course, I only have it upgraded or ascended, 1 level for the 4 resistance, and I can't afford to do more. Man, it's pretty pricey. These oils going to take you a long time to farm this stuff, right? The upside is anywhere outside of PvP, right? So outside of being outsped in the arena, now the energy issue is a real thing. I don't want to just like gloss that and brush that under the table. Again, something else in the game after Iron Twins that is going to be using your energy or fighting for your energy, and there's a massive energy deficiency right now in the game. Some inflation going on inside Raid Shadow Legends. We're heading for a recession, ladies and gentlemen. So that's an issue no matter what, right? They need to do something about injecting a little bit more energy into the game. No doubt about that. However, in PvE content, these are just stats that you otherwise would not have had, right? So it doesn't matter. An extra resistance, whether it's 4, 9, or 12 or whatever, is going to be stats that, are just going to make my champions more powerful and make me, even as a mid-game player on my free-to-play account, it's going to take me forever to farm the oil because the dungeon is so damn difficult. But that aside, as if we can just push it aside, right? If I could even clear stage 1, eventually I'm going to be getting stats that I just didn't have before, So it is going to help me in some situations, in dungeons, in Doom Tower, in progression, generally speaking, in the game. However, I fear that making it an advanced quest and stop me from farming books and stuff like that on a daily basis is also going to kind of mitigate that advantage that we get to some extent. Now, the last thing I'll leave you guys with is next year, and they talked about the first half of the year, I believe, is going to be the year of PvP. It's going to be postponed from this year to next year, 2023. And the thing is that's when we're really going to see this effect, the negative effect of RNG on the PvP element and dynamic of the game, and I guess the fairness of the game. Not that you can argue this is the most fair game in the history of the world anyway, considering the paid component, but at least right now, you can really, because I hear from hundreds of you guys a day, you can really enjoy this game being free to play, right? I mean, they're always popping up, they're always trying to get you to spend money on the game. But if you accept the fact that you're not going to be the best finisher in Platinum Arena at the end of the week, well, you can enjoy everything else about the game, right? Without spending really any money. And now that they give us champions like Rhonda, great daily login reward champions as well, you can surprisingly fare pretty well. Although it is kind of grindy, there ought to be maybe some sort of a catch-up mechanic added to the game for newer players especially. But with all that said, guys, I think we're going to cap it here. But I just watched this video. I recommend you guys watch Smiley's video now because he articulates it a little bit better than I do in terms of, well, yeah, man, I mean, this is a tough one to swallow for someone who's invested their hard-earned time and energy into all these artifacts that now might not be that great, especially in PvP. I want to hear from you guys. Am I missing something here? How do you feel overall about not just the artifact Ascension, but how do you guys feel now that we had some time to digest the new dungeons? Iron Twins Fortress and also Sand Devils Necropolis. Are you guys working on teams for these dungeons? Are you excited about these bosses, these new mechanics added to the game? Or for you, is it just like, yeah, dude, I just want to focus on farming dungeons and enjoying myself in the game, and this is all extra noise for me, extra ways for me to spend my energy and or my time/money? Guys, let me know in the comments below how you feel, and maybe it's the time issue. Maybe the time issue now with another new dungeon is what you're most concerned about. Personally, that's what I'm most concerned about. It's very tough to do everything every day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you feel, and as always, take care, guys.